everyone, thank you for joining me on my channel that provides relevant and up-to-date study material on current environmental issues, general biology and renewable energy technology. So take your preparation to the next level, enhance your knowledge and deliver better learning outcomes in your endeavor. Welcome to today's presentation. I am Neelam Mishra. We have discussed about National Action Plan on Climate Change in the previous video, and now that you have understood all about NAPCC, the topic of today's presentation is National Mission for a Green India, one of the 8 core missions to fight against the huge threats of climate change. Firstly, I will give you an introduction. What is Green India Mission? What is the aim of this mission? What are its subcomponents and why this mission is important. Next, I will focus on the issues and challenges faced by the mission, and finally, I will deal with the performance analysis of Green India Mission. At the end of the presentation, you will find some of the previous year questions on Green India Mission asked in UPSC or other competitive exams. I am sure you would be able to answer all the questions after going through the whole video. Let's start. Let me begin by reminding some facts about the Paris Agreement, the world's first landmark environmental treaty, because for the first time, a legally binding agreement brought all the nations into a common cause to undertake ambitious efforts to combat climate change and adapt to its effects. The agreement introduced a 5-year cycle of climate actions in the form of quantifiable nationally determined contributions, abbreviated as NDCs, carried out by participating countries. What is noteworthy in the agreement is that all the participating countries acknowledged and highlighted the substantial role of the forest as a part of solution to offset carbon emissions from fossil fuels and other sources by planting trees or protecting forest. As we all know, India is currently the 3rd largest emitter of greenhouse gases and accounts for roughly 7% of the total global emissions. Having said that, India as a responsible nation wants to be a part of solution to the ongoing climate crisis. In this context, the Government of India, just ahead of the United Nations Climate Conference in Paris, announced 3 major voluntary commitments mentioned in this table. One of the commitments is to create additional carbon sinks of 2.5 to 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide equivalent through additional forest and tree cover by the year 2030. The substantial role of forest in climate change mitigation and carbon sequestration and other land use sectors is critical to meet the goals of the Paris Agreement. If you want to understand the process of carbon sequestration in detail, connect to BioShots for a specific video on carbon sequestration. Now moving on to the next point, it is important to highlight that India is the only major G20 country which is moving fast towards achieving its climate goals. Therefore, to provide a vision and direction for increasing forest and tree cover and at the same time long-term strategies for reducing greenhouse gas emission, India launched a national mission for a Green India in 2014, commonly known as Green India Mission, to safeguard the biological resources of the nation and associated livelihoods against the dangers of adverse climate change. The major goal of the mission is to enhance carbon sink in India and to improve or enhance ecosystem services like carbon sequestration and storage, food security, hydrological services, and biodiversity conservation, along with provisioning services like fuel, fodder, and timber and non-timber forest produce, and to increase forest-based livelihood income of about 3 million households. To put it simply, the mission envisages a holistic view of greening and focusing on the vital impacts of forestry on ecological sustainability, preserving wetlands, mangroves and critical habitats, livelihood security with carbon sequestration, as a co-benefit. Moving on its structure, Green India Mission consists of 5 subcomponents as shown in this table. The core activities of the mission include afforestation, reforestation, along with conservation or restoration of existing forest and other ecosystems, agroforestry, wasteland reclamation, etc. Green India Mission also encourages the use of alternative fuel energy, for example, biogas, biomass briquettes, and promote livelihood support by providing access to LPG, solar devices, and improved cook stoves. All these activities can reduce burden on forest for firewood and forest-based products. The mission has adopted an integrated cross-sectional approach as it will be implemented on both public as well as private lands with a key role of the local communities in planning, decision making, implementation and monitoring. For your reference, the detailed list of specific objectives is presented in this slide. It is important to emphasize here that the fundamental principle of Green India Mission is aligned with nation's strategy on reduced emission from deforestation and forest degradation, that is REDD+. I will explain about this term REDD+ in the upcoming video on forest, which deserves a special consideration. Coming to the salient features of Green India Mission, this mission functions under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change at national level, but the State Forest Development Agency monitors and guides the implementation of mission at the state level. The Gram Sabha and other committees are the key institutions that are engaged at the village level, while the municipal corporations are responsible for the activities in urban areas. With regard to the outcome of Green India Mission, it solely depends on the convergence with other related missions of National Action Plan on Climate Change and complementary programs and schemes like Manrega, Campa, NAP and many others for better coordination in developing forests in a sustainable manner. The convergence basically aims at optimizing use of resources and avoidance of antagonistic or contrast activities which can disturb the balance in the ecosystem due to lack of coordination between different sectors. Finally, let me briefly tell you about the various issues and challenges of the mission. Green India Mission has been plagued with lots of issues since its inception. According to experts, the productivity of Indian forest is low as compared to world standards, creating a wide gap between demand and supply with respect to forest-based products. This increases the vulnerability of forest ecosystem, especially tribal communities and forest dwellers. Forest ecosystems are also highly susceptible to pathogenic infections, wildfires, natural degradation due to increase in surface temperatures. At the end, let's check out the performance status of the mission, how far Green India succeeded. Unfortunately, the afforestation activities of the plan had fallen short by 30% of its target 2015 to 2021. The mission had to face some obstacles in certain states, but few states have done well on their targets as depicted in this slide. However, the data shown in the slide clearly shows that India's green cover has touched nearly 1/4 of its geographical area, with forest and trees outside recorded forest areas, putting together an increase in 2,261 square kilometers in the year 2021, equivalent to 0.3%. With this, the total green cover has now reached 24.6% of the geographical area, including 21.7% of forest cover exclusively. Certainly, there is an urgent need for reforms in order to gain success in this Green India mission. For this, all contradictory and prohibitory environmental laws must be abolished. In addition to increase the efficiency, The concerned ministry must be bifurcated into two departments, one for forest and wildlife and another for environment and climate change. Adequate financial assistance and skilled manpower are most vital to enhance carbon sequestration and storage. On this note, I wind up this video. I believe that the right policies and practices in place, improved forest and land use governance can yield substantial and cost-effective reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, along with sustainable development. If you have any question, please do send your feedback in the comment box. Thank you for watching and your attention. Stay connected and keep watching BioShots for more learning friendly videos. Thank you all.